Who is Eileen Lasker?
People see my names, they think I'm either white or I'm married to a white.
It's another very exciting moment with a very, very special guest.
So I grew up in a place called Kinango. I don't know that you have heard anything about Kinango.
I have heard.
Pronunciation. There's river, there's liver. I mean, I never heard something like that.
If you want to become a pilot, you speak to a pilot.
So I did the circle when I was 23. What that did for me was to instill the discipline of saving.
If you want to become a billionaire, speak to a billionaire.
You know, I told some guys I come from the village market. I said, no, not village market, real village.
And if you want to be financially free, listen to this conversation that you're just about to have.
When you commit, you commit. You don't even touch this. Man. Just like you don't touch your paint.
Okay. So we go for training in the US. We also do distance learning. Then?
And there was online also, which was interesting
online.
because that's how I got my first modem.
In 2006.
Yes, my first modem, which was costing 18,000 and something.
My goodness. Yes.
And I mean, it would finish like 1,000 like in an hour. I mean, it was crazy. And even then, you're not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So I did that too. I mean, I was really invested. I really knew this was it.
Yeah.
And that's the power of the why.
Yeah.
Knowing your why.
Yeah.
Knowing your purpose.
Yeah.
Because then when you know that, imagine the way it's found.
Yeah.
I look back, I don't know how I financed all those things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Of course, my husband was very supportive, even as he wondered where we are going with this.
Yes.
And the lesson he's taught me is that vision is not communal.
Vision is not communal.
So
that's powerful.
When God gives you a vision, it's not about other people applauding and confirming. They know, but sometimes you have, I don't remember anybody confirming that this is what I've been called to do. But deep down my heart, I knew. So as my husband was supporting me and my friends who knew what I was doing, some confessed not understanding and hoping I'll wake up to my senses. But I was so strongly sold into this vision that God has given me. So when you sit around someone who has a vision, do not try even to understand.
Yeah.
If you can see their conviction, support them.
Yeah. Because
vision is not communal.
Vision is not communal. Okay. So we have even our first modem. We have trained. Now, how did we end up finding Eileen doing coaching business? So
first and foremost, my husband was like, you know what? It's not a good time to leave your job.
Yes.
And he's my biggest cheerleader, and I count him. I count him
you
wise.
Can mention his name.
He's called Evans Kahoro. So he's wise. He's older than me. He's he's those guys who they're easy but full of wisdom.
Yes.
So when he told me not, I was like, maybe I'm saying it wrong. But then I think he got to a place because I couldn't stop talking about it. Like, okay, you try. Like you try, it's okay. So he really supported me in terms of setting it up. But what I had done prior, because I had worked with entrepreneurs, I knew you needed a business plan. Remember, that's my background. So I had a plan. I had put a plan in terms of what I need for setting up the office, what I need for paying rentals, what I need for my desk, and even like, okay, in 3 months' time, I should have my money coming in now. And money was coming in big numbers, Yeah. I even promised him a holiday, like I'm going to take you on a holiday in Seychelles on my account.
According to the business plan.
According to the business plan.
It was big money.
And I had saved, So when I was planning to leave the job, I'm saving money for my business. I still have it, by the way, because we laugh about it.
Yes.
And I report, so we go looking for an office. First I was like, can I take a small thing? He tells me, with your big personality, you're not going to allow yourself to work from a room in a house. Yes. So we're going to get a proper office block. Yeah. So we get this.
This Kinangop girl has really grown.
I think, this Kinangop girl,
I'm still reflecting
on the Kinangop girl.
The Kinangop girl.
Yeah, the village.
Who is now full of big dreams.
I told some guys that come from the village, told me village market. I said, no, not village market, real village. Real village where we fetched water and did everything else. So where was I? So I saved. I had a plan.
The office.
Yeah. So
we are looking for a big office.
So first we report.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm surprised. I thought offices come like this pious.
Yes.
Because I'd always reported to offices that look like this.
Yes.
Like it has carpet, it has desk, it has everything.
Yeah.
Then I find this thing has nothing. Like it's just a room.
It's a shell.
It's a shell.
Yeah.
So let's just say the money I had saved was not just even enough
to furnish. Yeah.
So my first desk, which I still own, my husband bought it for me.
Wow.
Because like I ran out of cash.
Yeah.
And I have resigned, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'm expectant.
Yeah.
You know? So I was not going back.
Against his advice. Do not
against
resign.
his advice. Against the advice of my own boss.
Yes.
Who told me, I think your hormones are acting up.
So the Kinangop girl is looking for an office. Her first office.
Mm-hmm.
She's surprised
Yep.
that offices come as empty shells.
Yes.
We can take it from there.
And yeah, there's no desk.
Yeah.
There are no, even the floor is not done. It's just
Yeah.
a shell.
Yeah.
So what I had in my business plan had nothing to do for setting up the office.
Yeah.
So you can imagine then the shock that as money went, by the time I was sitting that off, I was finishing, I didn't even have money for a desk. So my husband bought me my first desk that I
Yeah.
still keep.
Yeah.
I have no intention of throwing it anywhere because
Yes.
it's so sentimental for me.
Yes.
And yeah, I had my first assistant and I started putting, adverts out there. You know, those days we didn't have social media as it is today.
Yes.
So you had to buy, you know, to get space in the newspaper.
In the newspaper.
And yeah, I start off and people are like, exactly what are you doing?
The first person you recruited was an assistant?
Yes.
Okay.
I got an intern who was a student.
Yes.
And so it worked for them.
What was the name of the assistant?
He's called George Tutti.
George Tutti.
Yeah, he's my very good friend until now.
Yeah.
He's now a big guy who works. He was pursuing law at Parkland, so it worked for him as well.
Yes.
And he says I also inspired him a lot during those, seeing something starting
Humble beginnings.
from scratch. Yeah. So I set it up and put these adverts out there. Get people who come and ask me exactly what are you doing? Are you recruiting? I was like, no, I am coaching. What is coaching? Man, I ran out of, my mouth ran dry explaining what coaching is. And why they need to hire me.
Yes.
And it wasn't until after 3 months that I got the first client.
After 3 months?
Yes.
So who was funding the operations of the business?
You can guess who. Yeah, Mr. Kahoro had to actually,
himself.
Yes, he had to, he had no choice.
He was a financier.
He was a financier, but he believed in me.
Yes.
And I said I was expectant, so surely there's
Yes.
no way we are going, so I should rather be at the office.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy, honestly, it was very tough. But as I said, the vision was real. The conviction was deep. There was no way I was going to turn back. I didn't even think of, like after the pregnancy, now I'll go back to work. It was like, how can I immerse myself more? And the words of, Anthony Robbins kept on ringing in my mind. Massive actions equals to massive results.
Massive action
equals to massive results.
Yeah.
So those ones of, if you keep doing the right thing, it will eventually give you the results. And every time I felt like I was giving up, I actually told myself, massive, what else can I do? And it's something I call action learning cycle. Like, what did I do last time? What worked? What didn't work? What lessons am I learning? What is replicable? What should I never, ever do again?
Yeah.
So I think that season I reflected more than I have ever done before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my reflection,
action learning
cycle, that when you do something, take time to reflect on it. If it goes so well, pick the lessons, amplify that. If it goes so bad, know what to never ever do again. And that really helped me keep, sort of refining what I'm doing, what I'm doing right, what is not working. And even that's what's behind, development of the coaching management system that we now teach in our school. Because I looked at everything that worked and that did not work and prepared some that now I teach all the coaches that train at CDI Africa Coaching Group. Yeah.
Wow. So 3 months, you get your first client?
Yeah. And they paid me 18,000 shillings. I almost photocopied the check and, hang it and put it there.
It was so satisfying.
It was like, finally someone has paid for this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
This was like a proof of concept.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like someone has finally paid.
Who was your first client?
I can't name them for confidentiality.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but I took that and took to the bank. Finally, there was something I was banking that was ours.
Yeah.
I remember my assistant was very happy that we've received money,
Yeah.
And it's almost like, it's just a proof of concept. This thing will
And
work.
was this like one sitting?
Yeah, they came and paid for it was for the, like, a couple of sessions.
A couple of sessions.
They came and paid everything.
Yeah.
I was like, and I think later I learned the person had taken a loan.
Wow.
But let me tell you.
They really needed it.
Yes. Let me tell you, that client has gone places.
Wow.
You know, that client has gone places.
Wow.
You know, I remember my first at least 2 clients. The second one came and paid us, I think it was 33,000 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, he's gone places. So it was like, it was proof, and they were really enjoying what's happening. And what's interesting, that a lot of clients that I coached then have come back to study to become coaches themselves. They're like, this thing really worked for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, you unlocked me, so I'd like to unlock other people. I was in town the other day and I met someone who, I couldn't remember their name, but of course they could call me out by my name. They told me, you may not remember because you've coached a lot of people, but you know what? I've used my name as my password everywhere I've been thereafter because you unlocked my life. That was so powerful, you know.
Wow, just repeat that. It's so powerful.
So I met this lady at I'm at Sarova. I'm coming out.
Yeah.
Sarova. It's Sarova, the one that's up the road.
Yes. Sarova, which one?
Stanley.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sarova Stanley. Yes.
So and then she said, "Hi, Eileen." I'm like, I am clueless. I don't know why I saw this face.
Yeah.
And because I've seen so many people, obviously, I don't start by asking, where did I meet you? Because I'm like, okay, I'm just, if as long as you call my name, I say hi.
Yeah.
Then I looked at her and she was, I know you can't remember me. She said, honestly, age. They say I'm forgetting names. She told me, no, I know you meet so many people. So you coached me at this time in that first office of mine. And since then, the reason I cannot forget it is because your name, I use it as a password. In every place, your name is my password because you unlocked my life. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine.
Moment to pause.
Yeah, you find that's so powerful, right?
That is so powerful. She uses your name as a password because you unlocked her life.
And that she cannot forget that name.
And she will never forget your name.
Yeah.
That's how powerful coaching is.
Coaching is, I've been a consumer of coaching, Piers.
Me too.
So I didn't just wake up like this, as I tell people.
Yeah.
I've consumed coaching. I've been coached by different people. And I've just been amazed at how an hour or less of a conversation can change your worldview completely and channel you into a completely different direction that you had never even thought you can pursue. So coaching is indeed very powerful.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I am one of your disciples.
Thank you. Thank you, Piers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, second client comes, pays 33,000
Yes,
bob.
that was before I went on maternity leave.
Yeah, now you're headed
I'm ready for maternity
leave. Okay.
And I actually invested that money to put an advert for the next intake of leaders in coaching. Because I was putting advert, then I'll get the clients.
So you were putting adverts
on the newspaper.
On the newspaper?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, that time there were no Google ads.
But here you were coaching individuals.
Then I was coaching individuals.
Your first 2 clients were individuals?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had, like, people would come for...
How do they get to know about you?
Newspaper.
So you okay.
Newspaper. You put an advert in the newspaper,
yes,
which lasts for a day. Remember, a newspaper ad lasts for a day.
For a day.
And you hope that day you'll actually get enough people to call you or to send inquiries that you're then going to follow up and convert. How much was it costing to
put such an advert?
Maybe in the region of, depending on the size, I think that the largest I paid could have been the region of 20-something thousand.
20-something thousand,
yeah.
So you hope to be found in the midst
of all that noise in the newspaper, that you'll be found that people will actually call you. Yeah. Of course, things advanced with time, and now there were many other ways of advertising and more cost-effective, and the ones that would also sort of have a longer shelf life, not just one day the newspaper is gone. Then I was also started writing for Management Magazine, so that was a better way of also marketing myself and what I was offering. Yeah, and I moved from coaching one to wandering. So of course I go on leave, come back, and I shifted. It was so interesting. When I came back from maternity leave, I stopped working with young professionals, and I actually said, you know what? Maybe these people look at me and maybe they wonder, am I their mother or something like that? I don't know. Maybe I need to work with the leaders I used to work with, because it came from a leadership position, worked across the region. Maybe I should target the people who are like me as opposed to people who are lower than me. Of course, when I was starting, the thinking was, if I got a coach when I was younger, my life would have possibly been I didn't have to struggle to find my purpose that much. So I was like, can I shape them? Can I catch and shape them earlier? But then after a couple of episodes of advertising and getting young people who are like, I would love to, but I have no money, or me, I'm just looking for a job. If you're not going to offer a job, I cannot invest more money. I was like, maybe I need to go back to my basis, which is, I am a leader and I've worked with leaders before. What if I targeted these leaders instead of young professionals? And that changed the ballgame completely. Because then I was meeting people, who actually were looking for real shift in their lives. They were not looking for jobs, they were looking for real shifts in their life. They wanted to do better, be better. And sort of my energy and my language and my demeanor was matching theirs. So that's how I would meet people like Pius now. And that changed the game changed at that point.
When did this shift happen?
Right after my maybe September 2007, because I just come back from my maternity leave. So now you become
a coach of leaders.
I started coaching leaders. And that was so interesting because I could see, I just felt like now I've fully become, like I'm meeting my peers and they're willing. It's not a hard sell for them to know that you can grow, you can do better, you can shift your leadership. We can work with your performance reports to see what are the areas of growth, how can you lead differently. And that's what led me to work with corporates, because then these leaders are coming from organizations. And some of them would come back and tell me, Eileen, you know, I am doing what you're doing with me, with my team, and I can see a difference. I'm like, what are you doing with your team? Like, I'm listening more. I allow them to speak. I'm not commanding them. I'm not prescribing. I'm letting them think. And I can see they are really feeling empowered and included. And I said, if these guys are mirroring what I do without teaching them the skill, and they can see a transformation, what if I trained them to have the skill that I have? That led to me now starting to train leaders to coach their teams.
Amazing, amazing. So I know this is 18 years, 17, 18 years, we may not have all the time
to talk about the journey,
to cover it. But maybe one of the highlights you can mention is, how did you end up coaching Centum, which is where you and I met?
That's interesting. One of your leaders came to me for coaching. Then she wasn't a director as yet. And she was looking at growing and, you know, the next level of her leadership. And she encountered coaching. She experienced coaching. And it was so interesting that I moved a session she had because I was going to train a Standard Chartered Bank. And I was like, next week you can't meet. I have this training coming up, so I'll see you thereafter. So when we met, subsequently she asked me, what are you training on? I said, I was training leaders on how to coach their teams. Like, leader, you can be a coach, but you can also a mentor. How can you do this differently? She was like, I think our team needs that. It was as simple as that. So she asked me, how do you do it? I explained to her how I do it. And the next thing, send us a proposal. And then she invites me to meet the consultants who are working with the Centum on the big growth agenda to interview me. And they're like, that sounds interesting. Actually ended up training the two of them to become coaches themselves, and they're both coaches as we speak. So it was a very interesting, you know, divine connection that then ended up bringing so many other people into my space.
And just to add to that, also, we were at a place where we really needed you.
Exactly.
Because
but you didn't know it was coaching that you required.
But we did not know that it was coaching that you required, because the business was growing very fast. And we realized that what we were really lacking was leaders. Leaders who can make decisions, can solve problems. So we need to create a pipeline of leaders. And coaching was the bridge. So here comes
timely.
Meets Eileen. Which year was that? 2030?
Gosh, no, it should be before. maybe 11, 12.
Yeah.
11, 12, yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Anyway.
And I remember you were away. I think I had a special class for you, right?
Yes. I think one or two. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
2 of you were away.
Yes.
And so we had to do a makeup class for you and the late Tim. Was it Tim?
Yes, Tim Hitchen.
Yeah.
Tim Hitchen.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes.
I remember.
Yes. So yeah, okay. So fast forward to coaching, which is what you do.
Yeah.
How is coaching for you today?
In fact, there's a question I skipped. What is executive coaching?
What is executive coaching?
And it was about, I went back to coaching just to define what it is. But executive coaching is actually a specialized niche of coaching where you work with C-suite leaders to help them in taking themselves, their leadership, and their organizations to the next level. You see, at that level, you have very few people you can sit with and confidently or confidentially, both confident and confidentially, discuss what are your needs, what are your ambitions, and what are the struggles, what are some of the things that are giving you sleepless nights. So executive coaches offers that spaciousness, that safe place to soundboard, not because they tell you what to do, but they give you space to think. So I say we offer leaders think space.
You offer leader.
Think
so
space.
Executive coaching offers leaders space to think.
Exactly.
Yeah. A safe space to think.
A safe space to space to think, to reflect.
Yes.
You know, move things from here to here, like because
yes.
you have many things every day pass that are it's like popcorn.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't even know which one to go for.
Yes.
Even prioritizing
yes.
and what you need to focus on for the next season of your life, that becomes part of what you offer.
Yeah.
So you offer that space. You offer the mirroring. We offer the sounding board. We become the challenger. We become the cheerleader, and that person you can tell them absolutely anything. Yeah, knowing that it is safe because we are really bound by the code of ethics in terms of confidentiality and privacy.
Yeah. A very important thing to note there.
Yeah.
About confidentiality in
absolutely.
coaching.
Yeah.